Hello and welcome back. Now then, I have got some explaining to do because I have been a wally again. I was very tired. I woke up this morning and I thought, let's finish the sugar beet contract on field 69. I had literally on the previous episode I'd done 3/4 of it. I'd already said I was really worried about field 69, about finishing the contract, because what had happened was it actually used our place as the sell point of choice, the sugar mill. So I was bringing this. Now I already knew that my sugar mill was half full with our own sugar beet, having just done our harvest. So I was like, how on earth am I going to fit an entire field 69 into that? So I did state in that episode last time that I was really worried. I didn't think we'd be able to do it, and I didn't. So what I started to do was to stick the as soon as I'd filled that, the last load I did with our tractor, I ran 2 trailers. I ran ours, an hour trailer, and the one that the contract had supplied. So I kept, in the end, I only ran the contract supplied trailer, and I ran that to the, once this, it was fully complete of 320,000 tons, 320 tons of sugar beet was full to the top, and I could not place anymore. I was envisaging having to buy a silo to expand the sugar mill's capacity if I could do that. I was envisaging all sorts of things, was worrying that the contract wouldn't pay out. But what happened was I thought, well, let's just crack on, and I recorded a session after the one that you will see next, or I thought I had recorded the session. In that session I did an awful lot. We finished the contract at field 69, and we literally, as I was literally using the contracted thing, and there was a segment left, all of a sudden it said contract completed. Now I'd logged obviously hundreds of thousands of tons, but certainly in my personal opinion not enough to complete the contract. However, the game said we completed the contract, so we gained, I have got this, I'm probably going to put on the screen now the actual contract. I wish to sort of build a body of proof, because I have no proof whatsoever other than the fact that obviously originally I took that contract out, which we know, and in 69 there was a massive it is a massive field. I would just bring that up now just to show how large a field 69 is. That monster there, full of sugar beet. I knew it was going to be monstrous. I think I had 3 recording sessions to do it, and in the last one where I thought I'd hit record, I finished it off and I got the contract complete. But what I had been doing is I'd stuck the excess in there, because obviously I'd run out of storage myself. Well, it was quite happy with that, and it did do a completed, literally when I'd got a tiny bit about that big left, a tiny little sort of section left, it said contract completed, even though I'd got a lot of sugar beet in storage. I'd finished the field, so I'm quite happy, and this is what we've got left to show. We have 220,973 or 220 tons of sugar beet left in storage, and it still said the contract was finished, so I was well chuffed with that. So I haven't sold that, as you can see, because I thought, oh, that's sensible, we'll just leave that in storage, and instead of buying sugar beet when we run out of our own. The other thing that is rather bizarre, if you look in our, let's just run over to the productions. I want to sort of I'm trying to piece this together in a reasonable, you will notice we have a big weight in front of us. I bought that as well in that episode. I'm going to literally backtrack. So we finished the contract on field 69. You can see the remnants of lime on the field. Let me just pull that up. I limed the field and did 1 state of fertilizer. Let me just pull, let's change that so you can see field 52, a single state of fertilizer. Now obviously these little tiny bits are little remnants that I think probably, I don't know, the game does have these weird things. That patch there, however, was a test we did. What I did was I ran a very small thin strip of fertilizer, and then I limed on top to see if you could lime on top of it. I'm trying to build up, obviously, like most of us are, what works under FS22. Is it the same as under FS19, which we know it's not, but some things still are. Now, on FS19, if you change the field state, obviously I've just ploughed that not long back, or not ploughed, but you know what I mean. Use the word brain's gone. Let's have a look at our garage. It's the easiest way to do this. The subsoiler. I use the subsoiler obviously to get the texture that we've got now, which then means that the field state had changed. So I put lime down in that little strip there, then I immediately fertilised. No, sorry, I did it the other way around. I ran a very small strip of fertiliser, and then I was seeing if you can lime on top of fertiliser, which indeed I could. Because I did that, that changed the field state, and then when I fertilised the entire field after doing the little test, that little tiny patch there, that test patch, obviously proved that you can indeed, if I'd fertilised first, I could have then run over with lime, and then I could have fertilised a second, and then I wouldn't need to fertilise the field at all. So we did that test and we proved that sort of theory. I've been threatening to cut a few trees down. You will notice on the right hand side a whacking great planter. Well, there is a story to tell, and obviously one that you would have seen. I cut down. Oh, those trees are regrown. Oh my life, they have. I cut this tree down, and I cut this tree down, but obviously the game wasn't happy with that because they are now back. Right, okay. Or did I cut the ones before that? I cut two trees. I may have done actually. Now I was going to literally stick the that is just over the edge of the horsepower limits of us. Obviously we upgraded this a few sessions ago now, and it absolutely robbed me of nearly all money because it was like 45,000 to upgrade this to the 261 horsepower beast that it is now. That's 280 horsepower, so it's just beyond the limits of this, but it can pull it, and I'm presuming it probably could just about get away with actually using it. We got that with 70% off. Obviously you'll notice I'm right up to March. We went through, I think we were on November was when we were running through the Field 69 contract. Oh, let me turn time down while we're talking. Yes, literally was in November, so I finished the Field 69 contract, chopped those two down, then I literally ran November night, December night, January night, February night, so 4 nights on the trot basically. And each night obviously we also got, bearing in mind that sugar's worth far more this time of year, our income from the sugar mill for those was absolutely really good. We were up to, including the contract payment, which was nearly 23,000 something or other. Then of course obviously we've got that 220,000 sugar beet. Not that we've cashed that in, we could actually get quite a lot of money from it, but it's worth more to me as sugar. So that had 70% off, which meant it was 45,000. We'd got 80 odd thousand, including the payment from the sugar mill for those at least a couple of the nights, also the payment from the Field 60, the 69, and also I think we did one spray. No, I think that was actually the session before. Yeah, we didn't do a spraying and that at all. But that was our biggest buy. But that's not all. We also bought. I will pop over there. Now that's repaired, so I can't prove that that was bought in a sale. Though I can, looking back. I don't want this. I've always said it's typical. This happened to me in my Lone Oak series, on the very series that the very session that I recorded buying Lone Oak Farm, which I'd spoken about and threatened about, and also I bought a truck on that very session, was the very session that, like this, didn't record. Now I know how that looks. It looks like, oh yeah, here we go, he's injected so many thousand dollars, well, it was dollars on that as well because it was Lone Oak, into this, and he's just gone and cheated. I abhor cheating. That's why I absolutely love recording every last little ounce of footage, other than perhaps the only thing I don't do is every time this starts on this map, it starts you at the original farm. All I do is always jump into the vehicle and start that. And if I ever needed to look at productions and just remind myself of something, but I won't do anything. I would never do a contract without recording. The other thing that was super duper, which I can still prove is second hand, is this beast, which was also super duper. There were also a couple of other things, like there was a baler that again was good. But this, you can see obviously the damage on it, that it is super duper damaged. But that also was just so, I mean, I've been saying for ages I could do the sprayer, and I've been holding out and hoping that at some point, and I wouldn't have waited for this. This is the one that I really wanted, if I'm honest, the one that I seriously wanted to grab, and lo and behold, it too came up on a special with super duper amounts off. So that I bought brand new, as you can see. Yeah, 3 months. And the Vantage repair. So there we go. Let me just see, is there anything else to report? This will do not only for our fields, but also I wanted to buy big anyway, because obviously we're expanding, and obviously that seeder, well, planter, it's not no-till, so it won't ever do for, we've always got to cultivate or use a subsoiler when we do our own things, but this will do for contracting going forwards, as will the planter. We can go for any planting contract and seeding contracts and really earn quite a lot of money from them. So it is another feather to our cap, and also with the size of it, it will mean doing contracts is an awful lot easier than if I ever contemplated. Well, I did contemplate doing a couple of seeding jobs, but I thought, really, with a 3-meter seeder, it's going to take me a year to do a field. So yeah, but obviously this is the only buys we have got. So there was also a weeder, I think, that was on special, but we're literally now to the point where we're supposed to be planting our fields, and this is where I left it. But I just wanted to catch you guys and girls up with where we got and where all this additional equipment suddenly came from. So truthfully speaking, our original little seeder that has rolled down here somewhat is a little bit not really necessary, but that doesn't mean to say I'm not going to get rid of it. You'll never know when something like that's going to come in handy. Now then, where is it facing? For the life of me. Oh, it's there, I see it now. So yes, that is the state of play, and that is how far we got, and I am so annoyed that it always seems to be pivotal episodes, not like as if, oh yeah, I did 3 contracts and I didn't hit record. I mean, that's more believable, but seriously, I bought all that stuff and had so many things go right and wrong. I mean, I was well chuffed because I seriously thought we were going to run into really bad trouble with I didn't think that contract on 69 was going to finish. I truthfully didn't, with the way things were going. I thought, there's no way I can complete this, and I was saying that in the episode, obviously. Oh, you're not here. Don't. Why are you? Please don't run. I know what I'll do. Let's put it against a tree. Oh, I'm not far enough backwards, that's why it's not. Oh my life, it's rolling away. Right, let's run this against the tree. One there, I think. So yes, that is where we've got this wonderful equipment from. We've got a fantastic fertilizer spreader now. We've got a fantastic sprayer with one of the biggest. I'm not sure if I think I bought it as was. I can't remember if it can be extended. I think it can. I don't think it was fully 36. I think it's the smaller size. So I'd say the weight I bought, because this was bought new, because the Great Plains was so heavy, it was really lifting me off the ground. So there's a few things that we could really have done with this for, like even the fertilizer spreader. So that's the state of play. To be honest, they are the purchases we bought over winter time, and I do really seriously apologise for the fact that that's not visible. We've got this ready, and our brand new planter will make very short, and this isn't a proper episode, this is by means of me explaining, and will be added on to the next episode where I will be planting that with our sugar beet. So yeah, this is just really an addendum, me explaining how on earth we got this extra equipment that was not there before, how we finished, and how on earth we have got 220,000 in storage. So yeah, when you can see by the prices, to be honest, that we could actually, this time of year, it is actually worth quite a lot. It costs us £3 to fill up with sugarcane, because again sugarcane is worth, I think it's at its highest for the time of year, so our buy point uses the proper prices. Yeah, you can see again it's at its highest. It's as low as 100 and something at times, and that's when we buy it for 2,000 for a truck full trailer load. At the minute it's 3,000, so we topped that up. I think I topped that up last time on productions. No, I need to do it again actually on this session. The sugar beet was at 320 maximum a couple of days ago when we literally did everything, so that is why we've got 19,000. We are ready to plant on this field. And did I actually take some contracts on? I don't think I did. We can at least now though do sowing contracts if we want. Oh, apart from potatoes of course, which we can't. Oh no, I don't. Oh, of course it's the time of year. What do you know? I would imagine later in the day we are going to probably get... Oh, that was a sugar beet actually, but it's only tiny, so... Yeah, I would imagine as the day goes on and progresses, because it is March, that we will start to get other sowing jobs. So we have got that option. Once we've done our field and they start cropping up, we can actually use that beast. It would be nice to have a go on our fields just to see. This is slightly underpowered, obviously, so it's... And the other thing I said, as you can see from the look of that, is we seriously need to get a washer. In fact, yeah, do you know, let's do that now. That's the one thing we will do on this session. So just see if that pile of wood is still there where I cut those trees. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that is the proof that I cut those trees, because that's all that remains of the 2 trees that I chopped. So that, I believe, is everything. We did the contracts, we bought a few pieces of equipment, and obviously we slept through the winter, so to speak. And we did keep that topped up most of the winter with sugarcane and sugar beet, so we'll do that. I think it ran out this morning, so... Right, let's get a washer. Shall we put it next to this, about just on the left here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Tools. I do believe we have a cheaper Nakashi. I'm sure there's the steel. Let's have a look, which is a lot cheaper. Yes, I like the sound of that. Shall I put it next to the... No, I think it actually there's not bad. Don't want it sticking out. Just... Let me twizzle around. Oh no, that's twizzling that around. It is... Is it Q&E? Yeah. Let's twizzle that around. Say about there. Oh, let's put it back a little bit. I don't want to be running into it with the trailers. Excellent. Right, let's... You're brand new, and you definitely got to see how long you reach. That's needed washing for a long, long time. Excellent. Fantastic. Where did we stick the... Right, we will grab the tractor, which we ran over here with, stupidly. Most of this is clean. There's a subsoiler, seems to be mucky. We'll grab that at some point. It's not important now though. Let's just quickly grab the tractor. That's the main thing that's absolutely ditched. It's done that much work. Oh no, I did switch it off. Okay, we'll do this. This is the last thing we're going to do, and then this is going to get added on to next play session where we finally plant our field with next year's set of sugar beets. Oh, that does look better. You can see the chipped and painted bit that needs redoing, but we shall fix that at some point, and we'll try not to run this gentleman over. Right. Wow, it seems a bit quicker than the old one. Actually cleaning, that's serious, because that was about as ditched as it gets. Fantastic. Oh no, let's move it. I don't want to be leaving it on the road. That would be I'm aiming for realism. Right, so then, without any further ado, I think we've gone through. The one thing I could do, I would like to sort of prove it. I was going to flash the contract thing, but to be honest, there is another way I can do that, isn't there? There's the... Is it that one? No, it is... That's it, here we go. Yeah, because truly, November was the month that we were in. If we go down, it will prove the contract... Sold products, that was obviously, yeah, these are the monthly costs we get from the sugar factory, the productions, and we should have a, yeah, 22,231 for field 69. The wage payment, God and Benny, only used, I'm glad I never did the whole field. I did the entire field myself, apart from the few times when I ran product over to the train depot to store stuff in. That was the only time I did it. December, that was one of the things we bought. What would that be? December, the 10,000 one. What was that? That's not... That makes no sense. Ah, that's it. It's new class as new vehicles. That's how we spent best part of 50,000. And we spent 24 the day after. That was the sprayer unit, and that was two things. That was the weight and the planter, 44 or 45,000. Yeah, that is right. And 24,000 was for the sprayer unit. So again, that was, I think it's about 70% off. Again, that's absolute bargain. So that's those two pieces of equipment. That's all we bought, plus the weight. So 3 pieces of equipment. That's all that we bought. But just like to show you, I just wanted to. There were no contracts in these months, I think. Let me just check. It should tell us contract cost, shouldn't it? I'm sure we did no contracts. There was nothing there. I did check though. I did want to have a look. Harvest by contract. Yeah, it was. That was the last month we did the big field 69, and that was the payment we got. Plus all of those hundreds of thousands, hundred of tons of stuff. So yeah, no wage costs, and that was the income we got from our... I think a steady 16, 14, 15 and 15 again. So yeah, this one is only the day's income. So that is the proof that I am not telling fibs. Obviously we've still got the loan. I had to borrow, and I put the loan up. I think it was it, yeah, 10,000. That would be, is that the loan? Yeah, that's right. That's the miscellaneous, is where you pay the loan off. And I don't know what the 587 would be, but that may be loan interest, I'm not sure. But that is... No, that's your loan interest there. Yeah, I borrowed 10 grand because I couldn't quite afford, I think it was the sprayer, and it was too good a bargain to miss. So I thought I am going to grab that, definitely. So we literally paid for that. I'm sure it was that way around. I think we had enough for the seeder. We'd got 80,000 at that time. Yeah, we had. It was the day after when I'd literally spent 45,000 and left us quite short, and that was, remind myself, 24,931. I think I'd got about 18,000 or something like that, just under 20, and I borrowed 5,000 to begin with, and I was a few hundred short, so I borrowed another 5,000 to take it up to 10,000, and then we literally paid that off the next morning when we got our income again. We were quite low actually by that point. We are back up mainly through last night's income from the sugar production, so that's why we're back up to a healthy 20 odd grand. So that is where I'm going to leave it. That is hopefully enough proof to prove by the game stats, because I do absolutely detest when all of a sudden any content creator goes, oh, look at this, is he looking at our nice sprayer? It's a cracking sprayer, mate, don't you agree? It really is. Right, so yes, I do hate that when all of a sudden you see something, even if it's a mod that's been placed and there's no mention of how it got there. I know we all play by different sets of rules. I like to play that my start from scratch is the money I've got is everything. There'll be nothing bought except through the income that we receive through the game. No, the only exception would be, and this is going to happen in my other Let's Play, I place a sugar factory on the corner of a field where you cannot alter the grounds. It's got a horrible divot. on that I will allow, if through game mechanics that you land yourself into trouble. Now I've got the money tool, I can put money in, but that most people can, that mod where you can literally add or subtract money. I would in that case openly say I'm going to demolish the thing where you get half of your money back, and then I'm going to give myself the other half back, and then we're going to rebuild that in another place. And that would, the only excuse or reason I would allow that was if game mechanics will not allow me to set that in a reasonable state. It was awful. I mean, this isn't perfect, but you can get around, and I would live with that quite happily where it is. But on my Horbelleron, it's on the corner, and where you dump, the ground level is like hugely down, and for some reason it will not let you level in certain areas. It will go right up to a certain point and then it won't, so you literally, your vehicles drop down into this massive divot. It's really awful. So nobody wants that. I'll probably start to do what we used to do in FS19, which is to level the ground first, then place it so that it doesn't muck around with the ground level. But obviously it's my first building I'd ever placed in FS22, so you hopefully live and learn. That one was really quite good, and the placement was a little bit better, not perfect. I wished I'd come this way slightly or more to the left, but at the time the tree was in the way, which we have subsequently chopped down. So yeah, not perfect but not bad, and I can certainly live with it. So that is the state of play. All the vehicles are explained, where our money, because we were doing really well, we're up to 80,000. We could have almost bought another field. He really likes that sprayer. Yes, I think it's a sprayer, unless he's admiring our sugar beet harvester. But or perhaps he's starting for a bit of work, which with the present workers rate, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll be employing anyone. I shall be doing this by my own fair hand. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope that explains the mystery, and I'm hoping to goodness that next time this happens I don't forget to hit record. The second I came to end the session, I hit the end recording button. My recording software does a beep. A beep when it starts, when you press the record button, and a beep when you press stop. When I pressed the stop record button, it made no noise, and it was at that moment that I realised, you Wally, you've not hit record. You've been talking to yourself for an hour and a half. It's typical though, because we had done such a lot. We chopped those trees down, we did tests down here about fertilising and the state of the field, and all sorts of scientific testing we did to sort of try and prove things. And that's all just gone in a puff of smoke because I never hit record. But anyway, I think I've explained almost all that was important that we did in those days, and the equipment that we bought, which hopefully is, I'm so chuffed with how we've got. The one thing we are short of, which we haven't seen apart from there might have been a couple of really expensive tractors, but yeah, I mean, there's no way we can presently or for the foreseeable future buy an expensive tractor. So yes, the only way we're going to do that seriously, I think, going forward, we probably need, although to be honest, because I'm doing all of the contract work, and this little beast here is quite capable of almost everything except for when you start to go to massive, and I suppose being as I'm doing most of the work myself, it does actually do as normally I would have 2 or 3 tractors and I'd use workers for doing fertilising contracts, but this actually, I suppose, if I'm not using other people, will do as proud for almost everything. Got a big weight, I did invest that in 1800, and it's also capable of sticking a bigger one, and it's got the trailer attacher as well, so I did choose wisely. It can be upgraded and made bigger, but I thought let's go big, because there might be a time but we put a front loader. I'm not sure that's a point. It's one thing I really do want to do, and I want to see. I don't think you can add front loaders to this. I can't remember ever having a front loader on the case in FS19, but I'll just check. Let's have a look. Oh wow, repair again. Sick of repairing this. Right, no retire. Yeah, I didn't think. Oh, has it not got a license plate on? Okay, well that's useful for me to do. I thought I'd actually done this. Oh, that's That's alright then. Fantastic. Oh, does it always say none? I do want to customise. Let's just have a look then. Does it have our license plate on already? Front and back? No. Oh, that's a bit bizarre. Can you not put the license plate on afterwards then? I said no plate, didn't I? Idiot. It was my own fault. You know, I've got to get better at this. Reading. I suppose it's getting used to the changes between the two games. Front and back. Press OK. That's better. Customise. Yes. Now I should have. Front and back. Brilliant. Excellent. Right, let's grab that weight. Right, and that is this time where we are going to leave it. I was right. So we need something, I think, with a front loader attacher at some point for loading and things like that. Or maybe there's been a couple of times we could have bought a front loader, but we just haven't had the cash. But again, I do think going forwards it would be telehandler or something like that. Front loader would be useful, whether it's another tractor with a front loader or it is just a front loader or a telehandler. Either way, that would be fantastic. We have had a couple of opportunities and again I've not gone for it, but yeah, going forwards I think that's probably one area that we need. We've got sprayers now, fertilizer spreaders, lime spreaders. We've even got the proper topper for... God, have we got that on this? Let me just remind myself, is that the thing that I got for £2 grand? Just remind, I haven't got anything on loan, have I? No, that's the point. Did I get the... No, actually that's my other Let's Play. I have got the topper on that. I'm getting mixed up between the two Let's Plays. No, I haven't got the topper. That's never come up, because if it did I'd literally definitely buy that on special. But when we can afford it, I'll even buy that full price, because we've got to start to buy the tools for this. The other thing that surprised me as well, funnily enough, was the fact that although the massive harvester, it's not that much wider, the Panther, than this, truthfully. I think this is probably 3 meters wide, or maybe 2.5, and that's 4. So, truthfully speaking, other than the capacity, this only holds 6 tons at a time, so you're forever emptying it out. But apart from that, the width on this is still not that bad, I think. I was at one point toying with the idea of actually coming to grab this and actually having a worker do one side, but with the worker cost, as you saw, just from running backwards and forwards, it was nearly £4 grand, just for a little tiny bit of things. If I'd have done that, probably would have cost me 10,000 if I'd have actually had a worker running all the way along. That's half of the contract price. It's just diabolical. Really is so awful. Anyway, let's get out of that. We don't go into rant mode. At some point I'd like to get the sugar beet from that silo, the train silo over there, to this one just over there that you can see in the distance, because that's just around the corner. So I would like to do that at some point, but because it's a long way to run over there to grab a trailer load at a time, so I would like to do that. That's a job for another day. But anyway, without any further ado, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're going to continue on this journey with us. We are beginning to buy some serious bit of kit now. I'm really chuffed with how far the direction we're going, the equipment that we own now, and the productions, and where we're going. I think it's about time, going forwards, that we started to expand our fields. I think this one field is now holding us back. I think what I'd like to go into next time is I would like to buy... I will do this, being as this is one of those times. I would love to buy field 49 just literally down the path, and that isn't that expensive. That is 56,000, so yes, that's doable. But I'd like to put sugar cane in it, and I'd have sugar cane in one and this sugar beet in this one, as we have done. And hopefully this has been lime now, so this year we shouldn't get that hit that we had last year on that new section. We should have a everything completely with one more layer. Once we've planted, we shall fertilise this one more time, and then we'll be completely done everything apart from weeding. And I want to use our proper mechanical weeder at the first stage of weed growth, so that's what I'm hoping to do, and that's what we're going to do later in the next session we record. So anyway, enough waffling from me. That's plans going forwards. We just see that the only thing is that is bad thinking about this. Let's just have a quick look. No one's actually done anything yet, have they? No. I seriously think right now, before anyone plants in that field, now is the time. It's cultivated, so we can literally stick things straight in. That I think it's I know we've got to get some money to do it, but I think we ought to do it now. We'll literally do that right now. We need a bit of let's do it. Otherwise they're going to plant something that we need to like till in or something like that, and it just seems silly to me. So we've got about £5,000 left over. Wrong one. Let's buy out field 49. Yeah, I was going to say, I just thought that myself. I thought, you've not quite lent enough money. 56,000 we need to have, so we need 2 more. I don't want to leave it where we've just got a little tiny bit. You need a bit of seed money and stuff like that, so let's grab that and buy you. And next we will, I do like the fact that field 49, like field 52, has got those bits around the edge where you've got room for sheds and that. I was going to put sheds here, but seriously I'm toying with the idea of that. Let's have a quick look, 'cause this is turning into almost a full episode of information, which I think is equally as important. The direction that you go in a Let's Play. If we take that one tree down there, imagine they're usually on the border. I think we can actually do it. I think we could probably get one of the small easy sheds in there when we've got enough money. It's a bit, yeah, I think we're going to have to level it a bit there. It's a bit on the tilt, isn't it? We'll see. That would be nice. Although, as I said, going forwards, I suppose when we're doing really well, I wouldn't mind actually buying the proper farmyard. That is very good value for 156,000. Then we would have those 2 buildings, and we could sort of put some sheds up and maybe even a silo going forwards. So yeah, we might do that. We'll look at how level this is, and there's this area too as well actually, which is actually a little bigger, so perhaps this. But again, it's a bit like we said about that field, how we extended that. If it's more appropriate that we know we're going to hopefully buy that patch over there, then we might just expand this field so it's at its maximum and just go with that until we get those ones over there. If we know that's the way we're going, do a big push. Anyway, expansion plans have begun. But unfortunately we are a little bit in debt now, so let's have a look how much we do owe. I didn't pay good enough attention. Yeah, 45,000 in debt. So first thing I'd like to do is get that cleared. And anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.